Have you ever watched a moment on television that felt so raw, so incredibly human, that you found yourself holding your breath without even realizing it? In an era of heavily edited TikToks, CGI-filled blockbusters, and auto-tuned everything, there is something unmistakably electric about a performance that operates without a safety net. No cuts, no edits, no, we'll fix it in post. Just pure, unadulterated talent capturing a moment in time. That is exactly the magic that The Tonight Show host Jimmy Fallon and his brilliant, visionary director Dave Diomede captured with Ed Sheeran. If you've seen the segment, specifically the mesmerizing one-take performance of The A-Team, you know it wasn't just a song. It was a journey. It was a piece of television history that felt intimate, grand, and incredibly risky all at the same time. But how on earth did they pull it off? We're peeling back the curtain to look at the orchestrated chaos, the nerves, and the sheer technical wizardry required to make millions of viewers feel like they were standing right there in the room. The vision. Let's strip it all away. To understand why this segment worked, you have to understand the chemistry between Jimmy Fallon and Dave Diomede. These two aren't just a host and a director, they are creative soulmates. They share a massive geeky love for the history of television and the thrill of live performance. When the idea came up to feature Ed Sheeran, the easy route would have been the standard late-night formula. Ed stands on a rug, the lights dim, he plays the song, we cut to commercial. Safe, standard, boring. We wanted to do something that felt like a love letter to the studio, Diomede explains. The concept was deceptively simple. Follow Ed from the bowels of the backstage area, through the hallways buzzing with crew, and out onto the main stage. But in the world of TV production, simple usually means logistical nightmare. The anatomy of a owner. In the film industry, a owner, a long take without cuts, is a flex. It's a director showing off. But for Fallon and Diomede, it wasn't about ego, it was about intimacy. When the camera doesn't cut, the audience's eye never gets a break. You are locked in with the performer. You walk where they walk, you see what they see. It creates a psychological bond between the viewer and the artist. It's a dance, Diomede says. And if one person steps on a toe, the whole dance collapses. Here is what had to happen perfectly for those few minutes of magic to exist. The audio challenge. Usually, a singer has a stationary mic and optimized acoustics. Here, Ed was moving through corridors, past concrete walls, and into a studio audience. The sound team had to mix his vocals and guitar live, adjusting for the changing acoustics of the room in real time. The Steadicam waltz. The camera operator isn't just walking, they are walking backward, sideways, and navigating tight corners, all while keeping Ed perfectly framed. One trip over a cable, and the segment is ruined. The lighting cues. As Ed moved from the dim backstage to the bright stage, the lighting had to evolve instantly. It's a symphony of dimmers and spotlights that had to be timed to his walking pace, not a preset time code. The rehearsal. Controlling the chaos. You can't just wing this. The team treated the segment like a Broadway choreography. Jimmy Fallon, known for his boundless energy, was reportedly vibrating with excitement during the planning. He loves when the show feels alive. The goal was to make the studio feel like a living, breathing organism. They blocked the path, they measured the steps, they timed how long it took Ed to walk from the green room to the curtain. It's terrifying, Fallon admits with that trademark grin. Because if a door sticks, or if someone coughs at the wrong time, or if the guitar strap slips, there's nowhere to hide. But that's the thrill, isn't it? During rehearsal, the crew had to learn to become invisible visible participants. They were part of the scenery, but they couldn't obstruct the path. It required a level of trust that is rare in high-stakes television. The Ed factor, why it had to be him. Let's be honest, not every artist could pull this off. If you put a diva with a 12-person entourage and a backing track in this situation, it fails. This concept required a troubadour. It needed someone who could pick up a guitar and play anywhere, a campfire, a stadium, or a cluttered hallway at 30 Rockefeller Plaza. Ed Sheeran is that guy. His superpower has always been making a stadium full of 80,000 people feel like a small pub in London. He didn't need pyrotechnics, he just needed his voice and his strings. Ed was totally game, Diomede recalls. He didn't blink. He understood that the imperfections of the hallway, the weird echo, the noise of the AC, actually added to the texture of the song. The moment of truth. When the red light went on, the atmosphere in Studio 6B shifted. There is a specific kind of silence that falls over a set during a one-take attempt. It's a heavy, electric silence. Every cameraman, every grip, every producer is holding their breath. As Ed began to walk and strum the A Team, the camera floated behind him. We saw the cables on the floor. We saw the exit signs. We saw the reality of the workplace. And then, the transition. As he emerged from the darkness of the backstage wings into the explosion of light on the main stage, the audience eruption wasn't canned applause, it was genuine shock and delight. They were seeing him appear out of nowhere. For the viewer at home, the transition serves as an emotional crescendo. We journeyed with him from the private preparation to the public performance. We felt the nerves, and then we felt the release. Why this matters, and why we love it. Why did this video rack up millions of views? Why are we writing about it now? Because it reminds us of the power of collaboration. This wasn't just Ed Sheeran being talented. This was Dave Diamede knowing exactly where to place the lens. This was Jimmy Fallon creating an environment where artists feel safe to take risks. This was a sound engineer sweating bullets to make sure the audio is crisp. It resonates because it feels earned. In a world where we are constantly sold polished perfection, seeing the seams of the production makes us feel respected as an audience. It says, we aren't hiding anything. Here is the talent. Here is the work. The takeaway. Jimmy Fallon and Dave Diamede prove that you don't need the most expensive CGI to captivate an audience. You just need a great idea, a talented artist, and the courage to let the camera roll. It was friendly. It was relatable. It was imperfectly perfect. It was the kind of television that makes you smile at a screen and say, okay, that was cool. And honestly, we could use a little more of that magic in our lives.